Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were friendly. Everybody was nice. Your neighbors helped you. Everybody knew you.
I was just,
I don't know anything bad
no, I don't either. I mean, I
back
was
in our day.
just so fortunate to grow up here and have my children grow up here. It's been a wonderful experience, and you know, it's still lots of my friends that are here, and so that's been.
Yeah, we still keep in touch
Mhm.
and we still get together,
Mhm.
even when you're old, like me.
I think you appreciate it the older you get.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
You know somebody's there, has your back.
Yes.
If you need them.
Yeah, everyone
So the
was
people-
willing to help.
Mhm.
No problem. Somebody die, everybody gets enough food to feed them for 3 weeks. So
That's right.
that's just the way it was.
It is.
Yeah.
One of the greatest things in Manassas was the people. The greatest people in the world. I mean, some of the greatest things that happened. I mean, all other little towns may have some of the same stories, but nobody had anything like Manassas. Manassas was, in many instances, I can't tell you all things because it's a whole lot gobbled in this 95 years. I'm just hitting the edges.
Being in Manassas and just having that connection, that connection, that exposure, being able to see you and mirroring things within the community is such a lovely thing. So just having that here in our city is so lovely. And again, it's a place that we call home, that we don't, because she's from Salvadorian and I'm Mexican, this is Manassas, like this is our home.
It also looks like a Hallmark movie. You
Yes.
know, when you turn on Hallmark, you have that small town feeling. That's what you kind of got from Manassas. So, yeah.
So welcome Manassas.
I like that it's small, that you almost know everybody. I like that you can relate with different people. It's different kind of people in this place. Is everybody's very friendly. Everybody help each other. You know the police department. You know your fire department. Everybody is very nice. I like that community thing that we have going on here.
There's a lot of good things I like about Manassas. I like the people, for one. I haven't met anyone who, my coworkers are lovely. When I go to Girani's and hang out with the other writers, they're always so supportive and encouraging, and everybody's so friendly. I really like it.
When you go to a football game on Friday nights or a basketball game or any sports game, you see the city council, you see the school board, you see the superintendent of schools, everybody comes out. The pediatrician, just people who don't even have children at the school because it is so small town. I have a friend, Makita, who lives in Manassas. Her used to live in Manassas, and her children went to Osmond Park, and she used to call us the cult. She's like, everybody said, you guys are like a cult. You go everywhere together and you support each other. And as I told you, when my husband had his cardiac arrest event in April, the commissioner of the revenue came, the superintendent of the schools, the principal of Osborne High School, his former players. There were so many people that came to see him that the people at the admitting table wanted to know, who is Coach Mike, and all these people that are coming to see him, who is he? So that's the beauty of small town living.
I'm from Houston, which is a huge city, obviously. And when I moved here, it's city of Manassas or Manassas City. So it kind of tricks you when it has the city part. And it's actually a small town, so I had to get used to that. When my parents came to visit, they were also surprised because we're from Houston. And when I told my parents, like, it's Manassas City, they're expecting this city life. And they're like, oh, well, this is a town. This is not city. But what they love about it is that homey, warm feeling. And where they're from in El Salvador, they're from a town, and it has that feeling. So they make that connection that, you can walk down through Old Town, and it has, that familiar feeling that they would, if they were walking on the streets back home in El Salvador. Or just going to a restaurant. You don't have to drive an hour, 45 minutes to go to a good restaurant. You have local restaurants here, and it has grown. When I lived in Old Town, there were a couple of restaurants. Now you have more and more options. So you have that small town, but you still have that little bit of city feeling when you walk through Old Town. And I don't think my parents will ever move here because it gets cold. But if it didn't get cold, I'm pretty sure they would be living here.
For me, I started my teaching career in Fairfax County. This is my 4th year back in the city, and I love it because a lot of the kids, like, their parents know my parents. I have those connections too. Like, I know your aunt, I know your mom, but just having that like hometown feel and like they know I'm from here, I just think it makes the relationship with the kids that you teach a little bit stronger.
Ronnie Warren, he came up to me, he's like, I know your parents, I know Robin, I know Mike, I know your uncles. We used to grow up, like we went to middle school together, went to high school, we used to run around the city. So it's just so funny. It doesn't matter where I go. People are like, "You're Robin and Mike's daughter, aren't you?" Okay, let me tell you about what we used to get into when we were kids. I'm like, oh gosh. So I mean, it's just pretty cool that like, you know, the city. I mean, as much as like the people have such a stamp on the city has such a stamp on us as well. So it's home, and it always will be.
Every time we go anywhere, we'd see somebody that either they knew or like we knew.
Oh, you're Robin's daughter. You're Mike.
Yeah, like literally everywhere. And then as I got older, like I got so used to it, and like I'll have friends that are not from Manassas, and we go out, and people same thing. Oh, you're Mike's son. You're Robin's son. And they're like, how do you know like all these people in Manassas? And half the time I'm like, I don't know, bro. Like they just recognize me. Like it's just that kind of small town feeling.
I did not know much about Manassas when we moved here. We moved last December, and so it was cold and quiet and dark very early. All I knew about Manassas was the 2 battles of the Civil War, so I was a little hesitant to like embrace the city. And then it warmed up, and I started going to the farmers market, and it is a lovely place. It's a cute little city. I love the downtown, being able to walk around the square. They had a jazz night that I was able to participate in, so I've really come to love Manassas, and the programs that they put on I think are really beautiful and incorporate all of the members of the city. I like the art center, I think, best. I was able to go visit when I was walking through town, and I thought it was really sweet how there's a cute little gallery and art classes and dancing and anything you could possibly want in such a cute little space.
I have family over, especially from New York City. I'm like, let's go to Old Town Manassas. Just a slow-paced life down here that we have. And I'm just like, oh, look at the stores. Oh, it's a community. We all know each other. And I'm like trying to promote Manassas. I'm like, you guys should move down here. Like, you guys can retire. I don't. So again, what Miss Bautista, what Miss Shema said is that you have a sense of community. It's a town that is just accepting and warming to others. So being able to have others to go walk around Old Town and then get to know, if you're like a regular, you're just like, oh, hey, hi.
It's like, cheers, everyone knows your name.
So again, it's a sense of community. So Old Town Manassas is a place that
there's an appreciation by the civic leaders and business leaders in keeping the town vital. And they've done that over the years, because you can go to most towns the size of Manassas and you see if there are 10 storefronts in a block, 8 of them are boarded up or vacant or something like that. Whereas Manassas, they've kept it vital.
And I bought our townhouse in Wellington in 1997. We've lived there since 1997, and we're busting out the seams. We're because of his coaching, we've had lots of young adults come to live with us over the years, and our home is always open. But I will tell you this, I would love to live in a single family home, but I don't want to leave the city of Manassas. So we are in our townhouse because I want new construction.
She will not leave.
So I won't leave.
She will not leave.
And they've been trying to get me to move into a single family. So I'm waiting for the Van Meter to open up across from Georgetown South, and that's where hopefully, prayerfully, I'll be able to jump over there. But that's how much I'm tied to my city that I'm not willing to leave it.
Not even 20111 Manassas.
Yes, right.
Like 20110 Manassas.
City of Manassas.
City of Manassas.
Yeah, not the county. Not across from the fairgrounds. My girlfriend moved over there. She's like, come over here. It's perfect. It's 20110. I said, but it's not the city. That's the county. And where do you pay your taxes? You pay your taxes to the county. I'm not moving. So even though I love her house, and I would love to be her neighbor. but I'm loyal to the city of Manassas.
Will not leave.